Here at MacGyver's Workshop, we build, fix, or re-engineer just about anything. You never know what we'll be working on next. And if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. Hi there, welcome to MacGyver's Workshop. With the upcoming Christmas this year, 2014, we're going to do a Doctor Who themed Christmas tree. Now those of you who know me know that I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and while going through the different Doctor Who videos and such on YouTube, I came across a couple of folks who made the Weeping Angel Christmas tree topper, and I'm going to try and replicate that. Of course, I'll give a shout out to all those who gave me the inspiration to do it, because they did it first. But what we'll do is we'll use a regular Angel Christmas tree topper like this one I got from Hobby Lobby for about 22 bucks. And you know, you trim off a bunch of the excess stuff, and the important trick is to find one that has posable hands, which this one does, and we'll hot glue them in place. And then after you have it all the extra excess stuff trimmed off, you just use a stone texture paint and paint it, and you come out looking really good with stuff that I saw online. So I'm going to try that and make my interpretation of it. So let's get started. Okay, to begin with, we're going to remove some of the excess frou-frou stuff on here, because really all we want is this base fabric here to emulate the texture of the angel, and all this other excess stuff we can get rid of. So we're going to do that. This just comes off with a wire. So that's easy enough there. And then this just unwraps from that, so we don't need that. This is part of the angel, so we'll leave that. But we're gonna have to cut this extra layer of material off here. And what we'll do is we'll just cut it up real close to here. I can do that with the scissors. Be careful not to cut the underlying fabric, because we want to keep that. Push your scissors in underneath and stay away from the underlying fabric. You should be okay. And then we just make our way around the angel. We'll get rid of that too. We're not mini pearl here. You don't need to leave the price tag on it. Make sure you get the other little plastic dammit out of there. And we'll work our way around. If you want, you can Just cut right down the middle here. That'll make it a little easier to work with as you're going around the top of the angel here. Cut this material off. Try not to damage the wings if at all possible. Best way to do that is to start with another fresh cut in the back. The wings will hide a lot of this, so again, you want to be careful because you don't want to damage the wings or the feathers. See how that comes off nice and pretty, and just leaves this as the underlying material, which is exactly what we want. And again, it gets a little tricky right around in here, but if you're careful, you don't cut the underlying fabric, you'll be okay. And whatever little bits left up here won't be noticeable from the tree. So just come up here and get this last little bit, and that's it. We have that. Now, unfortunately, the way these feathers are fluffed out, they got a little bit of down on them. Can't really get rid of that, so we're just going to have to leave that. I know that some of the other angels that folks come up with don't have this, and they just have the feathers, and that's better. But we're not going to be able to get those off, so we're just going to leave that. And once the paint sticks to it, it'll stiffen it all up and make it look good. Now the next step is we want to pose the angel's hands to cover her eyes like they do in the Doctor Who episodes. So I'm going to go off camera here a little bit and pose these hands up, and then we're going to glue them in place with just a standard hot melt glue gun, and that'll hold them in place. Because once we spray this with the paint, we're not going to be able to touch it or move it until it hardens up. So okay, one thing you want to do, I did this off camera because I only got two hands here, but the one thing that you'd want to do, because when the glue comes out of the gun it's very runny, so you want to hold the angel upside down and shoot a little bit of glue in there to hold it in place. And then also with the angel on its back, put just a drop here and here, and that'll hold, that'll hold the hands in place. And of course too, when you go to pose the hands initially, you want to pose them so that they're kind of springy and they almost hold themselves in place to begin with. You don't want the glue to have to try to do all the work if you can help it. So now that, then we're ready to make our frou-frou pattern here for the angel's drape or dress, and then we'll spray it. Alright, now we're ready to spray. Now it says very distinctly on the can here not to overshake. Only shake it for about 10 seconds and hold the can about 12 to 16 inches away, and do several light coats rather than a thick heavy coat. So it says it dries in about 30 minutes and you can handle after 5 or 6 hours. So we're just going to give this a shake for about 10 seconds, which I've already shaken it a little bit before I started the camera. So it's always a good idea to give a little shot on the work surface to see how that's going to look before you do anything. And then we just Give it a good spray. All the way around. It goes without saying that you'll have to be careful with this and store it very carefully, because I will no doubt be very delicate. Back off a bit to get everything to stick real good there. Get a good even coat on everything. And you'll see all that fluffy, I don't know what you want to call it, down or whatever, feathers, they mat down real good when you hit it with this paint. And it's going to take a coat or two to get it the way you want it, because you'll miss spots and all that sort of thing. But like I said, you have to get a good ways back, because the force of the propellant in the can will blow all your little speckles off. And it doesn't look like there's any actual paint color in there, or pigment. It's just seems like a clear base with a bunch of speckles in it. That's what gives you your stone texture. So we will go with that, and we'll let that dry and see how it does, and go from there. Alright, so there we have a nice close-up look at our angel here. And of course you won't see this because our tree sits in a corner, but if you have a tree placed out in the open, you'll want to make sure you spray around the back real good and get it coated real nice. And there you have it. Now, once it dries real good, then we'll put it up on our tree and we'll show you a picture of the tree when it's all done. So stay tuned. So here is our Doctor Who Christmas tree with our weeping angel at the top there. And then We have the TARDIS lights, and our daughter Chelsea, who's quite the artist, did the Starry Night Doctor Who thing on the package of the blue Christmas ornaments. She painted them all and did the whole thing, and she's got a real talent for that. And then there's another one, and then we have our regular angels, or angel lights, that change colors. And then of course, what Doctor Who Christmas tree wouldn't be complete without a clock to signify time. And then of course your regular standard blue Christmas ornaments. And all the presents in blue, and white, and blue, and silver. And that, my friends, is our Doctor Who Christmas tree this year. Simple yet elegant. Different from the usual norm. And there we have it. So, thank y'all for watching, and stay tuned.